If my friends out there want proof that this nightmare just never... No, we've already established I'm a basket case, okay? Emotionally, psychologically, sexually, all fucked up, okay? So, we've already established that. But if you want proof that this nightmare never ends, even if my mom... It's not going to end because I don't think my mom should be in control of her own money, but the psychiatrist is going to let her be in control of her money. Oh, well, let her do it, I don't care. She's the type who would fall for scams and whatnot. Let her lose all her money. I don't care. I don't want her driving. Now this world, this universe, you can either, I'm not going to be half-assed. You guys want me to stop caring about anything and just say, okay, I don't love my mother, or I don't care what happens to her, then good, let her have a car. Let her drive. I'm reaching that point. I'm reaching the point, and think of all the shit that I've been through, you know? I'm reaching the point where I just fucking, you know? Why don't I just not care? I know in my gut, in my heart, she can't even, she says that it's only been a year since she hasn't driven. She can't even remember that it's been way more than a year. I've been back here. I went to the shelter on April 26, 2012, okay? So I've been back here a little over, like, 2 1/3 years, okay? She totaled her car and stopped driving. It was before that. She can't even remember that. She has memory lapses. She can fall asleep like that in the middle of the day unless she drinks coffee. Her reflexes are horrible. I know it's a jungle out there even for pedestrians, okay? My mother's not someone who should be driving, period. Can I stop her? She gets upset if I even say anything. Can I stop her? Probably not. I don't know how it works. I know when I didn't want her to drive before and I begged her not to. But now she's not going to have anyone to drive her and she doesn't want to ask, you know what I mean? She doesn't want to ask for rides. She doesn't need to go to the grocery store all the time. She gets the stupid bus. That bus for senior citizens will take her to the mall if she wants to go. It'll take her to, you know, she gets a ride to that place she goes to where Cheryl is. But she wants to, like, go grocery shopping all the time now. She can't even just go on the one day a week, you know, whatever. And she lies too. She's like, she's trying to just, you know, just like a little kid would do. She's like, what? I'm only going to drive to the stores around here, the grocery store if I need to go. But then she turns around and lets it slip. Oh, but, you know, then I can get to the so-and-so, the place where Cheryl is. I'm like, yeah, that's not just the grocery store down the street, Mom. You just let it slip. You know, you're full of shit, okay? I don't want her driving. You can't stop me. I don't want to be treated like a mental patient. You know, you've been in and out of mental hospitals for 35 years, but I worked for 22 years and got a pension, so I know that, Mom. That doesn't mean that it's apples and oranges. That doesn't mean that you're perfectly fine. Well, so-and-so drives, and they drive, and everyone in this park drives. I don't care. She's a horrible driver. She drives. Yeah, there's tons of people on the road who shouldn't be driving, Mom. That's because that old man who killed somebody, right? Didn't he plow into somebody? Don't other people go through, they put on the gas instead of the brake or something and kill people or go through, you know. They're not my mother. I don't want her driving. Period. Can I stop her? I don't know. I'm up front with her. I'm writing a letter to try to stop you from driving. I don't know. She just renewed her license, but don't you have to put down whether you're driving or not? I don't know. I know that I can't stop her, but I can at least indicate concern that she should at least have, if I tell him everything, her history, especially those, you know, she's just in the mental hospital those 3.5 months and whatnot, and she's not all there. She's not all there, believe me. She thinks people should be at her beck and call, like, well, why can't she drive me? Why can't she do this? Why can't she do that? Because people have their own lives. They don't have to do this for you, Mom, you know? My cousin, who I haven't seen in over 20 years, is walking into a nightmare. The family is on Marion's side. My cousin's own sister is on Marion's side. They don't even care about my mother's side or my side. They're on Marion's side, period. My cousin's coming. My mom paid. She's coming. She's staying for a couple weeks. I haven't seen her in over 20 years. I've tried to give her, you know, she knows what she's walking into, but she didn't know to the degree. My mom called her yesterday and said, with that other cousin of my dead aunt, you know, Marion only had your best interest at heart. You know, won't even listen to my mom that Marion made that bogus 911 call that my mom was not suicidal, whatnot. You know, they don't care. So, and my cousin's upset. She's like, oh, I was hoping to see them. Yeah, they're on Marion's side. I don't know what to tell you. But now that my mom has nobody to drive her, and she wants to get a car. She can't. She's always, I'll take driver. I don't care. I don't care if people older than you drive. I don't care. I know you shouldn't be driving. Period. I know you can have relapses. I don't care. Well, I drove to work. But yeah, that was before all this shit happened. She can't even remember how long it's been since she's driven. Someone who can't even remember how long, she shouldn't be driving. It's only been a year since, bullshit, I've been back here for over 2 years. You stopped driving because I begged you from California when you totaled your car, and I have it on my YouTube channel. I can find out exactly when she stopped driving, okay? Only because I begged the shit out of her to not. I begged her, please, Mom, I don't want you driving. Okay? Think of all this crap, how many times she's been in the mental hospital. You know what I mean? She shouldn't be driving. I might not be able to stop her, but I sure as fuck am not going to just sit back and do nothing. Alright? Because I love her, you know? If this world wants me to not give a shit, believe me, I'm well on my way there. I'm well on my way there to just being a zombie like too many people are, okay? I know my mom shouldn't be driving. I know she can have relapses. She's like, as long as I take my medication, I'm fine. Mom, when I went through those 8 days of hell with you recently, you were taking your meds. I was living here. I know you. I watched you take your meds. You were taking them, and you still had this happen. You know. You're treating me like I'm senile. I don't want to be treated. Don't want to be treated like I'm a mental patient. You've been in and out of mental hospitals for the past 35 years. Yeah, but I worked for 22 years, and we're not denying that, Mom, and that's awesome. One does not preclude the other from being the truth, right? Is that proper English? The fact that you worked for 22 years is very impressive. It doesn't, maybe preclude's not the word, but you know, it doesn't change the fact that you've been, one does not negate out the other or something. You know, just because she did that, and that's undeniable, and that's impressive, doesn't mean she hasn't also gone crazy. What do you want from me, Mom? We're all mentally ill. My mom just told me about this woman who's coming. Because the woman I've never met her son. Her son, my mom has. He was fine with it. Well, the aunt who died said she was afraid of him, you know. But I'm like, so what, Mom? He has problems. And he's an adult, you know. And Marion calls her mentally ill. Well, Marion calls everybody mentally ill. And we're you know, Marion might be not operating on all 4 cylinders, you know. Marion can just label everybody mentally ill. But at least my cousin's on my side, on my mom's side. I mean, she's right in the middle, you know. She knows that Marion canceled the damn credit card. Marion has no right to play God, you know. I'm sorry, but the family's even on Marion's side in that. I don't think they're going to want anything to do with her. Oh, well. Welcome to the club, Tabitha. Welcome to the fucking club where all my family's on Marion's side, you know. Even my asshole father. You've turned everyone against you, even Marion and oh, fuck you, you ignorant piece of shit. You just want your son. You're upset that I told your son the truth and now he doesn't want anything to do with you. That's on his part. I told him what you did to me 30 years ago, or whatever, how many years ago? 30, you know, 25, whatever. However many years ago when I was a teenager. 13 to 17. Doesn't matter. You know, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of it. It's not funny. I'm just sick of it. It never ends. My friend, who's my YouTube friend turned email friend turned now phone friend, got to witness it firsthand. Briefly, but she got to see what I experienced. I already had told Mom, Marion took all the food. My mom acts like it's shocked. Where's my milk? Where's this? Where's that? I said, Marion took the food. I told you that. Well, she had some nerve, but I already told you she took the food. Why are you acting shocked, you know? And she could hear her in the background, so she got firsthand what I deal with all the time. Okay. It's just ridiculous. I'm tired of it. I might have a place for one more night to go, but it's going to be on a trial basis. Plus, it's going to be the woman and it's her dog. You know, we've agreed if the dogs don't get along, because, you know, I'll move out. I'll give Homer back to my mom and I'll go back to the shelter. No big deal, you know. But she has another tenant who's a young guy, and he has his girlfriend over all the time, and his bedroom's going to be right across from mine, so chances are, she says his girlfriend's there all the time, I might not be too happy if I have to hear them having sex all the time, too. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because she was not going to hear anything. She's way, way, way downstairs in her own little nook and cranny with her dog, and I don't know how that's going to be either, but I'm going to try it on a trial basis, because it's not like people are just barging, you know. Not like I have so many offers coming my way. I don't know, guys, so annoying. What does my mother want from me, you know? Like I said, I'm not going to do this half measure. I either love my mother or I don't. I'm not just going to partly love her and, okay, let her drive. Let her, if she crashes and dies, oh, you know what I mean? Well, tons of people drive, and they shouldn't be, and they're horrible. I don't care about them, Mom. That's more reason than ever for you not to drive. You are not a good driver. Yeah, there are older people. Hope, Donald's mom, I drove with her. Nowadays, people are maniacs out there. You have to be able to think fast. People drive when they're drunk. You're not being rational, Mom. They shouldn't be driving, you know? She'll say this shit to me, and you wonder why I just want to, you know, I left a message on my therapist machine, like, you wonder why I drink? I drink just to escape from, you know, just to go to a different reality. I drink because I'm feeling so, you know, I'm out of desperation, you know, just, it's not like I drank even once when I was with Joe. We went to that family wedding of his, but that was the day after I arrived, and then the next 3.5 months I didn't touch a drop to drink, and I didn't even miss it, okay? Because I was getting intellectual conversation, I had peace, I had calm. I was even you can ask Joe, you can, but I'm just saying figuratively speaking, and he'll tell you, for the most part, yeah, I had my moments, but for the most part, I was normal, sane, you know? And my mom's just ridiculous. She's ridiculous. She's paying a lot of money to fly my cousin here. Flights are very expensive now, okay? But she's like, I'm paying all that money to fly her. I'm not going to have a taxi come from so-and-so and so-and-so. She called my uncle, the one whose wife died. He lives close by. And he doesn't want to pick her up. And he made up some excuse saying I said, Mom, he's lying. Why? He's family. Why can't he pick her up? Mom, they're all on Marion's side. They know Marion doesn't even want her here. And I heard him on the phone. He's making excuses because my mom said, well, he said, I have a doctor's appointment. First he said, when is it? That's a clear indication right there. I have a doctor's appointment then. Well, she can wait until you're out. And he's like, look, Jesus Christ, you know, I don't want to do it. So my mom's believing him. He has a doctor's appointment. She's like, I'll have her change the flight to the next day and have him do it the next day. He can't say he has a doctor's appointment then. Mom, he doesn't want to do it. He regrets that you even have his phone number. He's probably going to change his phone number so you can't have the phone number. You know, it's like, she doesn't get it. Why not, Mom? No, why not? Why can't he do it? It's family. It doesn't matter. They know Marion tried to stop this woman from coming here, to cancel the credit card. They think Marion, and Marion's not my mother's court-appointed guardian. Marion has no right to do this. I don't even care if my mom is having problems. She had no right to make a phony 911 call. My mother was not suicidal. I was here. My mom was not threatening to kill herself or threaten Marion except financially. I'm going to take you to court, blah, blah, whatever. And a cat was out of the bag, and I'm flying down, and I'm sure she even said, whatever. I forget exactly what she said because I was so terrified she was talking to Marion. It wasn't her fault. She didn't call Marion. Marion got a call from the bank. The cat was out of the bag. That's it. So now it's all out of the bag. So this is what I've been waiting for, as you guys know. How long I've been waiting for the cat to be out of the bag, for all the truth to come out. How long? How many years? Since 2009, right? Ever since we found out about that power of attorney, all this crap and whatnot. So 5 years I've been waiting for this. But it's still a fucking nightmare. My mom doesn't have her sisters to drive her places if she needs to go or whatnot. She doesn't want to have to rely on people. So she's going to drive, and she's insisting she can. She always says, I'll get lessons. Lessons don't teach you to deal with these maniacs out here who almost run me over when I follow all the traffic signals, Mom, and I'm a pedestrian. There are animals out there. I don't want you driving. You can't stop me. You're probably right, Mama. But I sure as fuck am going to try. I'm going to try. I'll write a certified letter, send it to the DMV, and just say, at the very least, I know you can't just say she can't drive, but can you at least require her to take a driving test? Because my mom's afraid to do that because she's not going to pass. She probably doesn't even remember how to drive. She didn't even remember that she had just fed Angel. She goes and gives Angel, I was here, she goes and gives Angel, she had left for dog was sitting out on a different bowl on the counter, which she shouldn't do anyway because we have flies and whatnot. And she's like, Angel doesn't want to eat. I'm like, Mom, you just got through telling me that Angel just finished her food. You asked me, did Omer eat that? I said, no, Angel had to have eaten it. And it had only been a few minutes. Do you think someone like that should be driving? I rest my case. This just happened this week, a few days ago, whenever, before Angel got taken, before whenever it happened. It was just, and I witnessed it. Someone who can't remember a few minutes that she just fed Angel a few minutes ago, and then she's wondering, why won't she eat? She's not hungry. Mom, you just fed her in the other bowl, and you told me she finished it. Now a few minutes later, you're giving her this bowl you found on the counter. Should someone like that be driving? You think I'm senile. Oh, God, what do you want from me, Mom? I don't want you driving. I don't want you dead. I don't want, you know what I mean? Lots of people get into accidents. People drive when they're drunk. You're giving me arguments that are going to fall on deaf ears, Mom. I don't fucking care. You understand? Talk salad and Karen and whatnot. I don't care. Her arguments are just, I don't care. All I'm going to do is try. I might not, chances are I won't succeed. And then that's it. I drove to work every day, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, how many years ago was that, Mom? How much has happened since then? That was before you even spent those 5 different times in less than a year. Marion had you sectioned 5 different times into like 3 or 4 different mental hospitals. Once you went back into the same one, but you know what I mean? Or twice, That was a long time ago. You're like a fucking child. I should be your guardian because I love you and I will protect you, But I can't be your guardian because I'm mentally ill, So fuck it. It's just ridiculous. Like I said, it doesn't end. She says I upset her, I yell at her. No, I'll tell you what really happens. I talked calmly to her today. She doesn't like what I'm hearing. She upsets herself. She upsets herself. She starts screaming and spitting, and she upsets herself. And when I talk calmly to her, she doesn't like what I'm saying. And then she'll say, I'm yelling at her. No, I'm actually talking calmly to you and rationally, and you're yelling and upsetting yourself. I'm smart, smarter than anybody in my family gives me credit for, ever has given me credit for. I'm more than smart. My mother shouldn't be driving. Everything I've seen, you understand? She was taking her meds when I went through those 8 days of hell with her before, you know what I mean? She was taking her meds, and that still happened. It could happen again. I know that she shouldn't be driving. She should not be driving, period. I'm sorry that she feels like she doesn't want to be, you know, she's close to 70 years old. Other people driving their 90, I don't care, they're not you. They're not you, Mom. I'm tired of this shit. Like I said, this universe wants me to not care, I'll not care. I'll say, oh, fuck it, you know. I'll probably have to do that anyway, because chances are no one's going to listen to me, and the DMV's not going to care. Lots of people drive on whoever on medication, yeah, they're not you, close to 70, and history of mental illness, and you think I'm senile. You're not senile, Mom, but you were indicating to me pre-dementia or Alzheimer's, even if people just want to blame it on your mental illness. I know what I saw. Even Cheryl says it. People just don't see what you see, Laura. Yeah, because they haven't been dealing with it one-on-one with her firsthand. I remember how often I lived with her, too, for all these years, you know, for 35 years. I'm drained. I'm just tired. Tired. Proof of how tired I am. We had 2 movies to watch. I got Winter's Tale. I really want to see that. I like fantasy movies like that. I don't know if I'll read them, but I got out of the library, because you can return it even if I move somewhere else. You know, I'm not around here. It doesn't matter. You can return it to any branch of the library that's in that system, you know, in the system of all the different towns. I got 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed. I had already read 50 Shades of Grey, but then I only read half 50 Shades Darker, and then, as usual, my life turned to shit and went on, and I never read them, but, you know, I would like to find out what happens. But anyway, I got Winter's Tale, and then for 70 cents more, I was able to get her. She wanted Endless Love. I don't really want to watch that, but I might watch it anyway. She went grocery shopping last night, because remember, Marion took all the food. Most of the food. My mom says to me, at least Marion didn't take your food, because she didn't want it. She didn't take the cheese either. She only took what she wanted. The milk, the yogurt, the fruit, the sour cream, the cream cheese, you know. The eggs. The cookies, the pie. My mom definitely put on a little bit of weight, because the skirt that fit her just not that long ago when she went to my cousin's daughter's recital or something was fitting her tight. I'm like, if it's fitting you tight, it means you put on some weight. And I saw her in her underwear, and I'm like, yeah, you've put on a little bit of weight. You know, you've eaten all this junk food or whatnot. I don't eat that much. She's always denial. Like, I was living here for those 10 days. You're eating too much, you know. You're going to gain weight. Oh, well, I gained weight, you know. But at least I'm aware of it. I'm not in denial. I'm not saying, well, I didn't do anything to gain this weight. It just happened. So anyway, she went grocery shopping. Omer and I crashed on the couch, and then we went to her bed, because this bed, I don't know, the dog Angel peed on the pillows. My mom had a friend bring pillows. I didn't have any pillows, didn't have any sheets on this bed, because I took the good sheets, and Mom said I could have them, and they were in my storage. And I just slept. I went to her bed, and she wasn't home for a couple of hours. I basically slept from, say, little after 7 all the way till 4 in the morning. I needed it, obviously. She came into the bed and slept there with me. I couldn't move. She came home at 9. I'm like, I can't watch these movies. It was one of those things I was like drugged. I couldn't move. I'm glad, because I didn't eat anything. I mean, I didn't eat anything from 7 all the way to 4 in the morning. You know. And I went to the library yesterday. I wanted to upload those videos and check my email, see if I got any responses to my ads, roommate ads, and I washed and dried my hair, as you know, showered, washed, dried my hair. My mom was at her little party thing in the park, and so I didn't make it to the mall or whatnot to buy my camera. So I'm still filming on this camera where the lens is fucked up, but so what? I'm gonna buy a camera. I don't know, this is such a nightmare. And to the end, Marion thinks my mother has no... That's what I said to my mom. You know, Marion thinks you just can't think for yourself, like you have no mind or whatnot. You're not as smart or as deep as me, but... I said it to my therapist on her machine. My mother's not as smart or as deep as me, but she's not an idiot. She's not stupid, you know? She can think for herself. I didn't turn my mother evil, turn my mother against Marion. Marion kept pushing and pushing and caused my mother to eventually hate Marion. It's not me, but Marion says it's me. Marion convinces my whole ignorant family that it's just me. Me, me, me. I am at fault for everything. Unbelievable. Isn't this unbelievable, you guys? It's just fucked. It's just completely fucked. Omar! So fucked. So fucked. Drugged. Like, I'm supposed to walk to the store, get money out of my account. My mom wrote me a check because I'd rather just do this for her and then she can get a ride. Well, she was going to get a ride and then she was going to have to walk with a lot of money. I'm like, you know what? You can write me a check. I'll get you the cash, and then that senior citizen think, instead of giving you a ride to your bank and then you walk into the store where the Western Union is, how about I just do this and then you don't have to walk at all. They'll drive you there. They won't drive her 2 places, that's the problem. So if she had to go to her bank, she would have had to get out and walk somewhere else carrying all that cash, and I don't want to do it. If she loses money, she loses things left and right. I'm sorry, but if someone who loses things left and right like that, sure, there's lots of people that shouldn't on the road that shouldn't be driving. That doesn't make it okay that you drive, you know, and I don't care. Like I said, I'm going to try to stop her. I don't know if I can, but I can try. I can try at least. And if I fail, then, you know, I have to be at peace with that it's more than likely she'll end up in some kind of accident. Because she's just not someone who should be driving, period. She's admittedly nervous as hell. She says she's nervous as hell when she drives. She just wants to she wants to drive because, I'm sorry, but it's a jungle out there and I don't want her driving. She's nervous as hell, admittedly so, when she drives. And that was before. Now she hasn't driven for years. She shouldn't be driving. She doesn't even pay attention to things. She's oblivious a lot of times, even to things around here, or you know, if the dog's crying, or you know, she just doesn't pay attention. I spent hours and hours the other day cleaning her kitchen and making her chicken, rice, and vegetable mush like I used to do in California for him. He had diarrhea all night. I found out from Dog Woman that she didn't catch anything in the shelter. He was just nervous, and that's why he had the diarrhea. Speaking of that, we don't know how to get it up off the rug either. But, I felt bad for him, and I thought I'll just use my mom's chicken and these vegetables in here and make a mush, and then we'll put it in little individual containers and freeze it for him. But I just wanted to do that, and then I also cleaned. And my mom sits there and says, there wasn't much to clean, it was clean. No, Mom, you don't clean thoroughly like dirt and grime. You just make things neat. And then she did keep her house neat, but I thoroughly cleaned. I took everything off the countertops. I said, you always leave these counters filthy. No, I don't. All right, whatever, Mom, you don't. I'm crazy. I'm the crazy one, and you're completely sane. Yeah, just sell me another bridge. So anyway, I cleaned and cleaned, but I'm just saying, she's oblivious even when the countertop's filthy. She's been oblivious to other things, you know, and someone like that shouldn't be driving. She gets furious when I say it. She brought it up, though. She brought up the car again and buying a car, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it, Mom. I don't bring it up, she does, and then she enrages me. Because I know she shouldn't be driving. And if she hates me, if I stop her from driving, she hates me, let her hate me. Seriously, she can go months for hating me, and eventually she'll get over it, and we'll be friends again. You know, I'm sick of this shit. I want to get away from her. I want to take Omar and get away from her. She's still bringing up that woman that lives in the next town over. You could live there for $400 a month, and I can keep Omar, and you can visit. You know, I'm not going anywhere where I can't have Omar. You're not having Omar. Why not? Because he's my dog, Mama. Because he's my fucking dog. End of story. She bought us both. She went shopping. She bought us both. She was talking about demanding Marion to give the food back, but she changed her mind about that. I'm like, please don't do that while I'm here, Mom. She needs to reimburse me. Yeah, well, she's supposed to be giving you back all your money, supposedly. But what did I spend on the stove and the refrigerator and this and that? I don't know, Mom. But Marion, if she's supposed to be keeping track of all this crap as your power of attorney, she shouldn't have got rid of anything. And if she's forced to, by law, to give you this money back, she's going to have to count for every penny. I can't remember what you spent on this or that. You know, I don't know. I don't know, Mom. I don't know. That I'm going crazy. You're already there, Laura. Well, it never ends, like I said. I have a feeling this is not going to go as smoothly as my mother seems to think it will. You know what I mean? Because we always have to bear in mind that even though Marion had no right to make that phony 911 call, you can't do a means to an end. Just like Joe, that landlord, can't make a phony 911 call because he wants me illegally evicted and out of his hair. Marion wants my mom not to fight her, and Marion feels like my mom's getting sick again. Yeah, she's having some problems, but not like before. And you can't use that as a means to an end. It's crime to make a phony 911 call. I was here. And Marion never came by to talk to my mom, like in the past when she's called the cops on her. Marion called the cops probably right after that early morning 8 o'clock a.m. phone call when my mother was definitely not threatening to harm herself or harm Marion. She was threatening Marion financially, and she was not threatening to harm herself. And if had she been threatening to harm herself, she certainly wouldn't have called me up at the library. I want to get you that contact lens and exam. I'm going to meet you. We'll go to Walmart now and blah, 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 and spent the day with me, okay? Marion's full of shit. You cannot use the police as a means to an end to get my mother back into the hospital where you feel she belongs, you know? You don't do that shit. Just like Joe, the asshole, evil landlord, making that phony 911 call so the police can make sure, and even the police were like, well, aren't you glad we got this air cleared? And I looked at them like, yeah, unless I find out otherwise, you know? I've been speaking to online lawyers. They're not real lawyers. Fuck you. You don't know shit. You don't know shit. If I wasn't so traumatized by this thing with Marion and my mother, I could have fought the damn landlord thing. It's just I only have too much on my plate. Plus being in a fucking shelter and, you know, and worrying about this and that and worrying about Omar and, you know, I can only handle so much. But the police were full of shit then, too. Oh, yes, of course. Of course, it's much better that you came over here and traumatized me and wanted to section me and was upset that you couldn't interrogate and harass me for over an hour while my poor dog's crying in the upstairs bathroom. Please, come do it again to me. They actually have the nerve to say that. Wasn't it much better that we got the this happened? Oh, yeah, that he made the phony #1 call? Utterly pretended to hear me threaten to kill myself and my dog, when it wasn't true. I'd actually just come back from a walk and was about to make my protein shake. And I was blasting my music in my ear and relatively happy walking Omar. No, fuck you. You know, sick of this shit. I'm so sick of this shit, you can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. I'm so fucking sick of it. Now my cousin's coming. I haven't seen her in over 20 years. She's walking into this nightmare right when it's happening. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know, you know. Now I'm seeing the lawyer tomorrow. I don't know how any of this is going to pan out. I'm hoping, praying that I'm supposed to meet with that woman and we're going to do this trial basis, you know. At least I can go and be with Omar in this place, and the woman works every day and takes her dog to work with her, and the guy's gone too at work, so I'll have the place to myself, and I can just be on my computer and, and sleep and do whatever and walk Omar in a nice neighborhood. And so I hope, even if it's only for a month, a month is a month. I'll take what I can get. It's not like people are, just like men aren't breaking down my door to date me or fuck me. It's not like anybody is breaking down my door to offer me and Omar a new place to live, So there's your update. I have to piece it together in my own head. I think I drank 2 pints of vodka in the same day, but that's because that was after I found out I'd already drank the one. I was supposed to go back to the shelter, and then I got this new thing where the police had come, where my mom said it was impossible, and my mom thought it was impossible, couldn't happen, and it happened to her, But I have to piece together exactly what happened this week, because it was hell. I told my therapist it was absolute hell. I left a message from my caseworker at the shelter, the one who's known me for 5 years and can't stand Marion, and sees right through Marion's bullshit, Up to the end, Marion's filled with her fucking bullshit and blaming it all on me. I turned my mother evil. You removed me from executive because I want nothing to do with you. You wish you dead sister, and ever since Laura got, she's turned you evil, turned you against me. Yeah. Let's just conveniently forget that you canceled my mom's credit card. You want her to have to beg you for every fucking penny, you piece of manipulative, deceitful cunt shit. And then she defied you and managed to do something she didn't even know she could do. She didn't know what was in the account, but she was terrified to do it. She did it. She got the money. She's having my cousin here anyway, and good for her. I'm happy for her. I'm happy she defied you, Marion. I'm happy. I'm tickled pink that she defied you. You just push and push and push, but I turned her against you because you're just so fucking wonderful, aren't you, Marianne? Yeah.